Today we're talking the RMR and the SRO. And no, I'm not pointing a gun at you. That's the camera. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where our goal is to provide relevant education and accurate information for all things self-defense from the civilian perspective for civilians. My name is Craig. So I've got two pistols. I just got this SRO probably a few weeks ago, right after Thanksgiving. So I've had the chance to shoot it for a little bit. I shot it for one day in the Modern Samurai instructor class that I just finished with. But I wanted to kind of give y'all my thoughts on the SRO versus the RMR and kind of, what I think about it. And first off, while the RMR is the most durable optic on for red dot pistols, I would have no issue carrying this SRO on a daily basis. If you don't think it's up to par, that's you, but there's enough evidence out there that says that it is. We're not going to get into that argument today. I want to give y'all my thoughts on it. So one of the first things, why did I get the SRO? So I was I went and kind of sat in on an intro to red dot pistol class that Green Ops came in and did in Houston in November. And one of the things I noticed, the guy that I was shooting next to, he had a larger dot on his SRO. I have astigmatism. That's another video for another day on how to help you guys with astigmatism see that dot better. Anyway, he had a bigger dot. It was a 5 MOA. I usually shoot the 3 1/4 on my RMRs, but I loved that bigger dot. And one of the things that I noticed is that you can actually bring it down a couple notches on the brightness settings, still see that dot, but it's a more precise dot for guys like me with messed up eyes. So that's why I got one, and I really like it. First off, so guys, I am an irons forward. This is now my backup gun that I just got in. I am an irons forward guy for my red dots. You cannot do that with the SRO. I mic'd it up and checked everything. Just the way it's designed, the irons get in the way. So the only way you can set up an SRO, your irons have to be in the rear. So just note that if you are an irons forward guy, there's no right or wrong way, irons forward, irons rear. So that's neither here nor there. Just letting y'all know you can't do that. So what do I like about the SRO? Well, first off, I can change the battery without taking the optic off, which is awesome. There's the battery window right there. Another thing that I like about the SRO is the large window. It is a pretty large window, which allows you to pick up that dot easier. So that's what I like about the SRO. What do I not like about the SRO? It's got a big window, and you're probably thinking I'm crazy by saying that, but let me elaborate a little bit. When I was shooting, so the first day I shot this pistol, second day I shot my carry pistol, which is an identical setup to this Gen 5. I noticed that I have more wiggle room, or I have more leeway with that bigger window. A smaller window on that RMR, my draw stroke has to be a little bit more precise. So there's not as much room for error on the RMR versus the SRO. And so let me kind of put that into context, or a good way to explain that. So let's say you buy your first house, right? You and your wife get married, or you're just starting out in life and you buy this small house, and 10 years go by, you get that new job, you upgrade to this house that's double in size. Well, you're moving from a 1,500 square foot house to a 3,000 square foot house. Well, now I've got to find crap to fill that 3,000 square foot house. It's kind of the same thing with the SRO with that big window. Kind of like the bigger the house, the more stuff that you have to put in there. The smaller the space, the smaller the house, you kind of have to optimize and be efficient with how you do stuff. That's the best way I can describe that SRO versus the RMR window. While it is bigger, that smaller window forces me to be a little bit more precise with my efficiency, with my draw stroke, with my presentation. And so to be honest with you guys, I like the SRO. I like that 5 MOA dot. I'm going to be sticking with the RMR for now. But that was a big one that a lot of people talk about, is that big window, being able to see that dot, pick it up easier. But just one of the things that I've noticed, if your presentation is there, if your mechanics are there, if your fundamentals are there, that kind of bigger window is really not that big of a deal. So yeah, the bigger the house you got, the more shit you got to buy to put in there. Smaller the house, you got to be a little bit more efficient. So hopefully that kind of helps that a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of the main differences between the two. I had a great time shooting both. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the RMR mainly for two purposes. Number one, and I'll get to this in a different video, I'm an irons forward guy. When I go and grab the pistol out of the holster, my thumb, the claw grip that Jedi teaches, my thumb actually rests on the back of the optic right there. With this, with the iron sights right there, it can get a little bit sharp and whatnot. And then also that smaller window forces you to be, basically it forces your fundamentals to be there, it forces your technique to be there. So yeah, that is that's kind of my take on the two. They're both great optics. I have no issue, or I would have no issue carrying both. I think they're both durable as I'll get out. The RMR is just a little bit step ahead. I do got some Holosuns that I do shoot. I actually just got another one recently from a local gun store. Just giving y'all my perspective on the RMR versus the SRO. Maybe it might help you make a decision. I'm going to try the bigger dot on the RMR, see how that is. But yeah, I like that bigger dot with my astigmatism. The bigger window can be a plus or a minus depending on how you approach it. The top battery mount is pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the RMR for now. But you do you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Be safe, be smart, be skilled. Catch you on the next one.